Welcome to the Justin Hamilton podcast. My name is Justin Hamilton, and today we are going to be covering Alien Earth, Episode 2, Mr. October. And I'm looking forward to having a chat to you about this. A little bit of housekeeping, as always, at the start. We have a sponsor. Yes, we have a sponsor, Wonder Pies, who make some of the most delicious pies and pastries. Pastries. Yes, I went to say pasties or pastries, and I said pastries. Other people would edit this out, but I want you to know that I'm speaking from the heart. I'm not reading off something that was prepared earlier. I was already a fan of these pies. Ray Capaldi is a mate of mine, and he created a wide range of delicious snacks that you can get your hands on. And as some of you keep pointing out to me, yes, there are chicken and beef and stuff like that. I'm vegetarian, so that's why I've been leaning towards those when I talk about Wonder Pies. But for all you dirty carnivores out there, there's a broad range of those pies as well. So if you go to wonderpies.com.au, you will be able to find not only outlets that you can find these pies scattered throughout Victoria, but you can also order them and you can get like a box of 10 and, put them in the freezer and then have them whenever you want. The filling to pastry ratio, they've nailed it. So Wonder Pies are the way to go. That's wonderpies.com.au. I also have some gigs coming up. For those of you who I should have actually put this down. If you are in Sydney, I'm going to be performing at the Quakers Bar, which is at 1 Campbell Parade, Manly Vale, this Saturday, the 23rd of August. The doors open at 7 o'clock. There's a big show on. I'm going to be headlining there. So if you are in that area and like to come and say hello, please do so. And then I have, what else do I have coming up? Oh, yes. On the 19th of September, I'll be back at the Rhino Room helping celebrate the Adelaide 25-year history of the comedy scene there. And I've been doing a couple of things throughout the year to celebrate their birthday. And this time I'll be doing stand up with Mickey D, another fellow Adelaide comedian. And we're going to both do a set. And then we're going to record a live podcast. So if you would like to check that out, you can find tickets for that at adelaidecomedy.com. And yeah, there's some other stuff coming up, but we'll save that for later. Brisbane. Yes, I'll be back in Brisbane in December, at the beginning of December. I'll be doing gigs and a solo show. My first solo show in Brisbane in a decade. So, but that's December. And we're now going to be talking about Alien Earth. Let me get my notes up and let's just rip into it. I just had a really good time with this episode, and it is so nice to be in this world. Uh, Once again, we're still dealing with the crash site of the spaceship, and now the Lost Boys, our crew of synthetic children who are a brand new type of life form, isn't it? It's interesting, isn't it? I hadn't really thought about that until I said it out loud. But they're a new type of life form, and they're going to be coming into contact with new life forms. So uh, they have headed off to try and get what's on board, because what's on board is from different corporations, from Weyland-Yutani and Kid Cavalier, or Boy Cavalier, who wants the to own this because it's landed on his island, as it were. He wants to get his hands on everything, so he sent his new life forms in to go and check it out. But there's so much more than that going on. We get to see Hermit, who is still just having one of those days, don't you think? Like, he's in the building, he's trying to save people. It's a pretty anxious time for him. He's been denied leaving this job and wanting to go to Mars and continue his study. Why did he lose that? Well, it feels like his sister, who can tap into technology, stopped him from being able to move on. Did that happen? I watched that scene twice, and I'm kind of in two minds. And on the one hand, I kind of think, yeah, she changed it so he'd be here, so then she would have more chance of being able to connect with him. But on the flip side of that, uh, maybe when she interrupts, maybe that was the answer that he was always going to receive. I'm not sure. What do you think? I'd be curious to know where you think that scene was going, or if she is the reason that he was denied the opportunity to get out of them. But anyway, he's just having a bad time. He has been attacked by a xenomorph. He's been terrified, like not just attacked, but terrified. This, what's going on with this xenomorph? It seems to have all the brutality of the aliens that we've seen in the past, but there's a smarts to this one, and there's something really fascinating about that. There's like the just kind of camouflaging itself on the statue before uncurling itself and revealing itself. Well, this this whole series so far has managed to do what none of the movies have been able to do for me since the first one, and that is really creep me out. It's been really full on at times, sitting here by myself going, "Oh, god damn." you know, but that's good. It's doing a really good job of that. So, and this alien, when it has an opportunity, Morrow comes in and stuns Hermit and stuns the alien and manages to put it in this net that forms around it. And then when other soldiers find them, Morrow tries to sort of say, hey, you might want to step back from this. This is not going to be good for you. And that alien just kind of claws its way out. And he's prepared to have to fight it, but it seems to not take him. I don't know like. There's that moment where the face is right up against his, and I'm wondering. I was hypothesizing. I think it was with Jared. Apologies if it wasn't you, Jared, but with Jared on my Patreon that maybe cyborgs don't give off pheromones, and so every time it's attacked anyone, it's been Hermit, the human, but it seems to bypass the synthetics, and it seems to not really have an issue with the cyborg. So that is a new thing that seems to be uh, introduced maybe to the mythology, or something that we're getting to explore through uh, this series anyway. Um, but yes, Wendy, who is uh, has talked them into letting them go and chase down whatever's in there, and she soon reconnects with her brother. And what I liked was that I think in a normal TV series, they wouldn't realize, like, or she wouldn't reveal that she was the sister until many episodes down the track. But here, uh, they make the choice to have Hermit find out immediately. And it's great because Alex Lawther is such a good actor, and it would be a waste to not let him cook. And he's already lost his father. We see that he still talks to his father. It's one of the things that kind of um, really has an impact on Wendy. And then, he's still mourning his sister, who she had a different name and she had a whole different body and she was a different person to who she is now. So, uh, introducing them to each other as brother and sister in the second episode, I think is better long term because it means we're going to get more interesting story choices. So I really like that a lot. While I think of it, I thoroughly loved the foppish dandy party that was going on that the soldier and hermit tried to, sort of say, hey, you need to get out of here. And they do not. And of course, in the future, there would be stuff like that. We see this kind of weird ass cosplay amongst the rich now. Who knows what they were getting up to in there. I had no problem with the xenomorph ripping them apart. I immediately disliked them. I figured they come from money, they seem like assholes, rip them up. If anyone heard the previous podcast with Dave Anthony, you know how I feel about the rich. So get in there, Xenomorph, and have yourself a little party. It's interesting. There is uh, a lot of old school pop culture. They're into. I'm starting to wonder. Like the Ice Age movies. By the time we're in this era, these movies are a long time ago, and I wonder if in this world. And while I think of it, the autographed Reggie Jackson baseball as well. I wonder if in this world that's run by corporations, I wonder if like do movies exist anymore? Does sport exist? Uh, does anyone have time for that anymore? It really does feel like the whole world looks like it's been corporized. Billionaires are now trillionaires. It looks like it's really hot and sticky and gross. So global warming has definitely kicked in. And poor people, look, we're seeing it now. The rich get richer, and the poor just have to keep working to try and make ends meet. And it is so full on that I guess in the future, like maybe poor people don't even have time to go and see sport, and then maybe sport just doesn't happen, or maybe it's for elites, which would therefore make something like Reggie Jackson playing baseball. I know some people have pushed back against that, saying, "Oh, that's so long ago, as if they'd remember that." But we still talk about Babe Ruth, and we don't even have footage. So, I it it does have an in-world logic to me, and things do seem rosier the further back they go. And I could imagine something like sport, um, if it is no longer prominent and it's more now stories, it would create a mythology that would still resonate in those times. Anyway, that's just my interpretation of how this is all working itself out. What else do we have to say about this episode? The what may have been my favorite scene was that awful, awful conversation with Dame Sylvia and Boy Cavalier, where um, uh, where she seems to be uh, thinking of them as humans, and she seems to have real empathy, and he is a piece of shit, rich, smart guy who doesn't have empathy, and he says that he's just hoping that one of them will be able to engage him in intelligent conversation, and that just kind of makes me think. Be careful what you wish for, especially as he's eating an apple in that scene. An apple is the symbol of knowledge. Uh, you know, uh, it's not just that as well. Uh, it's the first sign of sin. It is, it has so many connotations. It's the loss of innocence. They kind of represent quite a bit, and he's eating it. He's consuming it. Um, you could probably even say Boy Cavalier is devouring what we know of corporations. Apple being Apple. So there's potentially a little bit of symbolism that you can read into there, and if he's happy to consume knowledge, I wonder if you'll end up in a conversation that is not only smarter than him, but also something that he will not like. Um, the end of the episode ends with poor Hermit getting snatched by the xenomorph again. God damn it! And probably my favorite line of the episode when Wendy tells slightly, "Stay safe, guard the omelette," referring to the eggs. So, anyway, that's basically what happens in that episode. I'm sure I probably left out a couple of things, but we're getting the broad strokes. Um, uh, a lot of people seem to be not digging the synthetics, but I'm enjoying the Lost Boys, and I think they've been. I don't know. I just think it is something that we have seen in Alien, and this is a new way in, and no, I'm enjoying it. Um, I really think Boyd Cavalier is a pain in the ass, but you know while the synthetics are quite childish and, gross and the way they talk about things, um, he takes a phone call and he holds the tablet that he's conversing on with his feet. So, it's not like he's that, he might be super smart, but he's not much more mature than all of them as well. Um, Still loving Timothy Olyphant. I'm guessing we'll get more of him as it goes along. Um, I like when he is motivating the Lost Boys. Fear is for animals. You are not animals. So I'm enjoying his character. But I guess the main thing is, God damn, I am loving the new types of aliens that we're seeing. It's like, oh, they are freaking me out. They are so creepy. The plant that's just sort of hanging there, or like where they're sort of saying it's like it kind of comes across as flora, but it's possibly fauna, and the way it has that what would you call it? It kind of opens up and is looking and feeling out the synthetic bond. They're both just kind of staring at each other and a little bit not really like they're too fascinated by each other to actually do anything, so so that's disgusting. That's number three. Let's scale it up. That's number three. Then I can't believe it's number two, but those weird ass tick aliens that just seem to suck all the blood out of you and then can barely move. That Oh, far out. That is disgusting. But it has to be the eye alien who can animate a dead cat and then can have many eyes appear, and it just seems to attach itself and go in through the eye socket. Anyway, um, really smart move because we've seen the alien now. Do you know what I mean? We've seen the original Xenomorph in all the films. We've seen him in the versus Predator. We've read them in the comic books. We've just seen their images around. We know how the eggs work. This is what I liked in the first episode was that they used the knowledge of what we knew to great effect and without having to rely on it for being scary or anything because yeah, we get that. So how are you going to creep us out? You give us these other aliens and they are gross. And it's great. It's so great to be kind of freaked out by it all. So they would be what I'm enjoying the most so far. Interesting about the blue mist, wasn't it? I've always loved the blue mist, and I wonder if that is at first, I wonder if that's technology of some sort that can hold them in place, uh, not necessarily something that the eggs themselves generate. So I don't really know how that works, but it looks cool. Let's be honest, it just looks cool. Um, what else can we talk about? Oh, I like that they didn't like being referred to as synthetics. Um, that's because remember in Aliens, uh, I think it's Bishop says we prefer to be referred to as artificial persons. Sort of that to me is sensible world building. These are the things that would naturally occur. There'd be prejudices and there'd be pushback against those. What else did I look up for you? Oh, as you would be aware, Cavalier is someone who's dismissive, and you know, they kind of lack concern, they lack empathy, that kind of thing. Um, and then historically, they referred to supporters of King Charles I, which was during the English Civil War, and they were often depicted as stylish and aristocratic. And you know, if you take they were primarily royalists who fought for the king against Parliament. So if you take that into account with the people having the party and they say that they're friends with Boyd Cavalier, uh, you know, if that felt a little bit too much for you, I think that will help ground that scene for you. Um, so I looked up Kirsch as well because I thought that was an interesting name. Um, Kirsch is when I looked it up, I got a slightly different spelling for the way it's spelt in the show, but the name Kirsch primarily is a German surname, which can have a few meanings, but it can refer to a topographic name for someone who lived near a cherry tree or was a grower seller of cherries. It can also be an artificial Jewish surname meaning cherry. So take that into account. And then if you look up what do uh, cherries represent, they represent often beauty, new beginnings, and the fleeting nature of life. So Kershaw is seemingly uh, exactly that, and I hope that doesn't mean that we won't have Timothy Olyphant for long. But there you go. Where will this go? It's interesting, isn't it? Because I still can't quite work out if my initial interpretation is correct, which is this has nothing to do with the movies. This is its own thing, just like the Fargo series. Maybe even just like Legion. Legion was a reworking of X-Men stories and ideas that didn't really have anything to do with the movies. If I remember correctly, that is. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong about that. Um, if it does have something to do with the movies, then I think that would mean Prometheus has already happened. Would that be right? And therefore, maybe they did have an idea. Like maybe David didn't invent the xenomorphs. Maybe he just made a version of, um, and therefore they kind of knew about it. So they've been out there looking for stuff. But if that's not the case, if this is a completely different universe and they have just found this stuff and they're bringing it back to do whatever they think they want to do, um, I wonder if um, moving forward, like this is still self-contained. It's just broader, right? So I wonder uh, if they're not careful while they're all fighting over who gets to own this stuff, all these little alien creatures are going to reveal that nobody owns them and that they now own that island or something like that. Um, I wonder, they made Wendy made mention of Hermit being, just flesh and blood and not premium. So I wonder if Hermit might be in a situation where he'll end up getting an upgrade or having to get an upgrade of some sort. It's interesting. I can't quite work out. where this is going to go. I feel like Whalen Yutani have got to send in their crack troops, secretly to get their stuff, and Morrow has to, maybe try and get out of there. But it's the future of where this series is going is um it's not presenting itself to me at the moment. So I think maybe after the third episode I'll start to get a little bit more of a feel. Um there's a part of you that goes, oh, well, I hope so. We see Cavalier get his just desserts, but also he's kind of a great character so far. So I'd hate to see anyone taken off the board just as yet. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm having a really good time with it. And yeah, let's see what happens after episode 3 and I'll see if I can come up with some more ideas. What are your ideas? Like, feel free to share them with me. I'd love to know what you think of what this world is like and this sweet amalgamation between the Blade Runner world and the Alien worlds. And as I said, it's got a feeling I feel like devs could have been in this universe as well. So, yeah, let's just see what happens. And as I said, if you've got some thoughts, please share them with me. Um, where can you share them with me? Well, if you're a Patreon supporter, you can share them with me there. You can find me on Instagram, Justin Hamilton Comedian. You can find me on Threads and Blue Sky as well, and Facebook. But you know, if you're going to do it through the socials, maybe DM me on Instagram. I'll keep an eye out for them and any thoughts that you might have. I'd be more than happy to share them with everybody. What else can I tell you? If you'd like to give this a top review, these in this saturated world where big companies now own podcast platforms and make it really difficult for um, self-produced shows to find their way. A good review or a top review will really help. So if you'd like to do that, that would be nice. If you'd like access to bonus podcasts and live stand-up shows that I've filmed and things like that, patreon.com/ Justin Hamilton is the best place. If you'd like to see this as a video, you can find it on my YouTube page, which is slowly being built. I'm trying to get my hands on some old clips and things like that, but we'll get there. But if you'd like to get on board with that sooner rather than later, you can be an early adopter if you like. And if you would like more of my writing, you can find it at Justin Hamilton Comedian at Substack. There is the regular blog, which is free, Dispatches from the Fury Road. Some of you may have read that in the past on my site. That's moved over to Substack. But I'm also writing, I'm at the very start of an autobiographical series that's going to cover my whole career and all the lessons I've learned at the different points in my career. That's called One Foot in the Spotlight. So that one's one that you'd have to pay for, but otherwise you can sign up over there. All right. That's heaps. Don't forget the gig on Saturday if you're in Sydney. That's this 23rd of August. That is at 1 Campbell Parade, Manly Vale. That show kicks off at 7:30. And yeah, that'll be fun. I'm headlining that one. And for those of you in Adelaide, we will be doing a live Justin Hamilton podcast on the 19th of September. And Mickey D and I will both be doing a stand-up set, and then we will record a live podcast talking about the good old days of 90s comedy. Yes, we started in the 90s. We are old. So head to adelaidecomedy.com. I remember if you are a Patreon subscriber, sometimes you guys forget, DM me on Patreon because I'll put you on the door so you don't have to buy a ticket. You already do enough. Um, by the way, if you do none of that and you just listen to the podcast, thank you very much. That is not taken for granted, especially in these extremely busy times. So thank you for taking some of your valuable time and sharing it with me. As I said, you know, Let me know your thoughts. I'm dying to know what you're thinking of Alien Earth. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I will be back. Which will be the next episode? It'll either be the next podcast will either be episode 3 of this, or maybe it'll be the interview with author A.W. Hammond. I'm not sure which one it'll be yet. Maybe, you know what? Next podcast will be A.W. Hammond, and then that'll give you enough time to watch Alien Earth, and then I will put that up, and there'll be an Eddington review. I've been waiting for that to drop properly in Adelaide before I finish it off. But anyway, so much to do, so little time. All right, until then.